Anti-Dogma Megaforce is the latest full-length album from Barbarian Swords. This is a Spanish black metal band, and one that started out as more of a black doom metal band, one that was very very lo-fi and raw on their first like rehearsal tape, and quickly changed their sound over a couple of iterations into sort of this aggressive, doomed peak, which was atmospheric in its own way. It was kind of do-it-yourself, kind of old school feeling black metal, but also doom metal in there too. And it was a unique thing that they sort of shifted away from eventually after a few albums, and that meant that they kind of leaned into a bestial black metal album on their last release. It isn't exactly what to expect from this record, but it is sort of related. There's always been a little bit of Hellhammer, a little bit of like Impaled Nazarene, that sort of like war metal feeling to it, but there was also doom in there too. And by 2019, after I think Worms kind of showed both sides of the band, and then by 2019, Totemic Anal Turbo Fucker uh, switched over to mostly just like a bestial black metal sound, and I think it was cool. It was like they took the one of some of the more extreme songs from Worms and made an album out of it. It was something different from the band. It was kind of unexpected, and after that, they didn't do a whole ton. I think they released a compilation of their first demo, and this is sort of their return. And in the process of making this album, they made two albums, and they recorded both, and this is the fourth, but also the fifth was recorded at the same time. So they've suggested that they're two very different albums. This one in particular has a creator-esque black thrash feeling to it, but it is also more of a bestial black metal record. And so it's sort of like, it's not exactly Vomitor, but it's not exactly Destroyer 666. It's sort of got that creator kind of vibe to it. It's very aggressive. It's very riff-driven. And I'd say this is probably their most precisely recorded and performed record to date. It's very quick and burns right through. It has that sort of war metal feeling, like early Beharit kind of thrash to it. And we'll cut into a song here just so we can get right to the sound. So the fact that it is thrashing and bestial is not the whole story, and you can tell that, like, if you're just like, oh, fuck yeah, black thrash, that's fucking cool. It is, but that's not at all what this record is entirely about, because there's 80s black metal influences, but there's also 90s black metal influences here, and of course, keyboards are always going to be that indicator, but they're actually used pretty well here. There's these kind of like catchy, anthemic, aggressive thrashing songs that just kind of blaze through, but there's also pieces that pull back and have they develop a bit through kind of a symphonic war metal vibe. It's kind of cool. So that's what I liked about this record. There is kind of this like creator style vocal applied to some of it. There's riffs all over the place. It's just a cool record, and it's got this interesting Chris Moyen cover for it. So altogether, like a 30-minute record in this style, kind of unexpected from this band. I didn't think they were going to push it in this direction, so I liked it quite a bit. I still need to go back and listen to some of their earlier records more and kind of see how this all ties together. It doesn't really matter. This is kind of just a cool record from this band. I think it's one of their best in terms of just the recording, but also the style. This is kind of like my kind of style for this kind of thing. And yeah, I think they pretty much nailed it. We'll see how it lasts, in my head. But for now, it's kind of just a thrilling record to kick off October with. And I'm really interested to see what the fifth album is, because I assume it's different. I assume it probably takes on kind of a doomed thing to sort of balance out both ideas by different songwriters. So anyway, great record. It is a high recommendation for me, right on the edge of kind of moderately high, depending on your taste. But it's a fine product no matter what. So check that out. That's out now, and go read the review to see, check out more of my thoughts.